Across most of the country, when you turn on ABC, CBS, NBC, or Fox, you're not watching a station owned by the networks themselves. You're watching a station owned by Nexstar, the largest station grouping in America. Nexstar controls more than 200 stations, which reach about 226 million people. That's 7 out of 10 Americans. That kind of reach gives Nexstar enormous power. If it decides not to air a show, millions of people lose access instantly. And beyond its affiliates, Nexstar also runs its own 24-hour cable channel called News Nation. Now, that same network just won an Edward R. Murrow Award. The irony is just too hard to miss. They take Murrow's name while silencing voices like Jimmy Kimmel's. So here's how the money works. Advertisers pay Disney and ABC expecting their ads to run coast to coast. If Nexstar pulls a program, the audience will shrink. Disney loses money and advertisers will demand refunds. At the same time, cable, satellite, and streaming providers such as Comcast, Spectrum, DirecTV, Dish, YouTube TV, Hulu, they all pay Nexstar a retransmission fee to carry its stations. Now, that system only works if Nexstar delivers network content, and that gives Nexstar massive leverage over Disney. So now, the Jimmy Kimmel case. On September 15th, 2025, after the assassination of Charlie Kirk, Jimmy Kimmel made a joke in his monologue. He did not joke about the killing itself. He did not mock Kirk's death. His target was the reaction, how Trump and his followers immediately politicized the tragedy, turning Kirk into a martyr and using outrage for political ends. That is protected satire. That is the First Amendment in action. But Trump seized on it because that same day he demanded Kimmel's show be pulled. 2 days later, on September 17th, Nexstar acted first. They announcing that its ABC affiliates would preempt Jimmy Kimmel Live indefinitely. Their statement never mentions free speech. It just called the jokes offensive and that it was not in line with their community standards. Later that day, Disney and ABC followed Nexstar's lead. They suspended the show nationally, also indefinitely. So within hours, Trump celebrated the cancellation, calling it great news for America. Great news that we will no longer recognize the First Amendment in our Constitution. So let's be clear. Disney was not forced into this. It had a choice. Defend its comedian and, most importantly, the First Amendment, or just fall in line with Nexstar and, more importantly, Trump. It chose the latter: money, mergers, and political convenience over free expression. The First Amendment exists to protect voices exactly like this, voices willing to challenge power. Yet, here, a corporation with massive control over almost all local stations silenced a critic, and Disney went along. So the bottom line, Jimmy Kimmel certainly wasn't fired by his audience. He was silenced by Nexstar and Disney ABC, who chose money, mergers, and political convenience, echoing Trump's demands, instead of standing up for the First Amendment.